everybody, how you doing? Well, I built this workbench, and this is a workbench that's designed actually by Kreg, pocket screw systems, and well, Kreg International, whatever Kreg is. But nonetheless, I put this workbench together, and their original plans did not have casters on it. I wanted to put casters on it, so I configured it a little bit differently. Well, it came out great. We're about 36 inches high, and it's 24 by 48 inches, and well, let's get started.
If you're looking for cool videos, then you're at the right place. From PC to the console, then leave a smile on your face. Junkyard, junkyard. Get ready to watch a video from Junkyard.
Okay, so here is the difference when cutting the boards as far as the legs for the set. As far as the instructions, it tells you to cut them at 34 inches. My wheels were 3 3/4 inches is what the size they were. So when I cut the legs, I had to change that configurations to 30 1/4. So 30 inches 1/4 is what I had to cut the legs to, which gave the difference for the gap of the wheels or the casters that I'm using. At this point, I am putting pocket holes in all of the joints. I gotta tell you, pocket holes are such a strong way to fasten connections of the legs and arms and everything that, well, it's a fun way to make it work properly, and needless to say, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Alright, so here I am readjusting the drill stop. With the Kreg system, you're able to go ahead and adjust it accordingly to the depth of the material and to the depth of the screw that you're going to be using. With this project, I do end up using two different size screws, a 2.5 inch and a 1 1/4 inch size screw, and I am using the Kreg screws. They work really well. They have a method that they grip and cut into the wood and grab onto the wood. So once again, I am not getting paid and or being represented by Kreg in any way, shape, or form. It's just a really good workbench, and they have a really good system that works well. So I am taking it and running with it and having fun with it. Oops, I just dropped that piece of wood. You guys didn't see that, I know. So we have finished connecting all the rails to the legs. Now I do have myself a nice rectangle, and I am now connecting the side rails to the piece. Making sure it's straight I am using a wood clamp to hold it securely so I can go ahead and have free arms to be able to do that. Alright, so here is the different step that I have added to the project compared to what it states on the plans that you're able to download to put this workbench together. I have added a second brace to the bottom side rails, so I would be able to attach the casters directly to it. So what I did is I went ahead and cut the pocket holes into this end, did not add any additional pocket holes that were on the back end, and well, basically just attached it to the side. You'll see what I'm talking about. So at this point, I am prepping the boards to go ahead and get the casters installed. Here I had a little challenge. The drill kept jumping, so I ended up going at an angle, starting it, and then strained up the drill bit, and I was able to get a bite in that way. It was, I don't know, there was a little groove in the wood, and it was just fighting with me. I connect the casters using 1/4 inch, 1 inch lag screws or lag bolts. You can use 1 1/4 inch. I don't think you need to go anything over that. I think that would be overkill. By utilizing the smaller screws, you're right at the point. Literally, every time I went to install the legs, I could tell I was just getting really close to the screws from the pocket holes, and I didn't want to hit those in any way, shape, or form. So that's what that ended up working out. Here I am marking the spot where the center shelf is going to be installed. So this is an easy way to mark it. I just grabbed the 2x4. Obviously that's the side of the rails. Cut that out with the jigsaw, and well, you'll see it just pretty much just pops right in. So at this point, I just went ahead and dropped the cut piece of plywood into place, grab some clamps so I can go ahead and hold it where it needs to be, because I want to flip this whole cart over, which you'll obviously see in a second. So I could add the pocket holes into place. So here I was using a ruler just to go ahead and make sure I had all the dimensions even on all sides, which I did. And as soon as I figured that spot out, I went ahead and attached the top. So here I decided to go ahead and sign it, even though it'll never be seen because I'm about to sandwich this in between some glue here and the two MDF boards on top. But it was sort of fun. Put my own little signature on the board. Nonetheless, you'll never see it ever again. Weighted it down, clamped it down, let it sit for about an hour, and probably a little overkill. It was more than ready at that point. Here I decided to go ahead and add a layer of shellac. Really may or may not be necessary. I sort of enjoyed and like the darker, richer texture of the contrast because I have some oak old kitchen cabinets in the garage, and they ended up nice offsetting contrast when they sit below them in place. Here I have some pieces of 2x4s where I ripped them down the edge. When I was making my cornhole boards, I ripped a whole bunch of the boards so that they would be 3 inches instead of the 3.5 inch of a 2x4. So I had a whole bunch of these pieces, and I kept them around thinking I'll use it for something someday, and that someday is here. So what I ended up doing is putting them on the edges, so cleaned it up a bit and popped them in there with the nail bratter, glued them, and cut the 45 angle on them, and they came out really beautiful. It was a neat little touch. Well, here is the finished cart. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them down below. Cannot thank you guys enough for stopping by. Hopefully I'll have some more of these in the future. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day.